Well, hey kids, how's everybody doing today? Well, gotta shut off the music here. Sorry about that. Sitting here jamming to a little Jimmy. Hey, Trav Spence, how you doing, man? Glad to see you here. We're just getting started. We're going to give it a couple minutes, let some folks roll in. Not my usual time that I do live streams at. Not that I'm really doing anything usual anymore, but we'll see. Trav, can you hear me okay? Since you're the only one out there. Am I coming across all right? Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda's here. How you feeling, Rhonda? You feeling okay? Can you hear me okay? Looks like we got a few other people watching and not commenting. Come on, guys, jump in, say hello. Don't be bashful. Unless you're one of the multitude of haters that I've had to block on my channel. But yes, sir. Okay, so you can hear me all right. Good deal. I don't know how bad the delay is. I'm not sure what's going on with my OBS settings. I think it's creating sort of an unsteady video flow. So I'm working on that. I was kind of hoping it would be better on this one. We'll see. If not, I'll keep working on it. See if it gets better. Hello, Waukesha Pilot. How you doing? A little notchy. Okay. BJ Hunting. How you doing? Hey, Outcast. What's going on? Hey, King of Chuck. Douglas. How you feeling, buddy? My buddy Doug Imbragamo is back in the hospital again. He's been having all kinds of medical issues. Doug's one of my oldest friends. He was actually the best man at my first wedding. So it's good to see you, Doug. And Rhonda also has been feeling ill. Rhonda's going underneath the knife here in about 3 days. She's getting a device implanted in her to a defibrillator, actually. She's getting a defibrillator installed. So, Outcast, it's choppy for sure. Okay. Well, we're going to have to kind of bear with it. I don't know if I'm going to try to make settings mid-show here. I guess I can try to do some. I really don't know what I need to do to improve that. So I'm going to have to go back to doing some more studying with OBS and see if I can figure out why it's doing it. Video is decent, Trav says. Okay, choppy. Much better back home. Oh, good, Doug. I'm glad you're back home again. Hey, Palm Limit, how you doing? Well, it's good to see everybody rolling in. So a couple of things I wanted to go over with. Hey, Chad Peaks. This week has been about the worst. Guys, there's just no other word for it the way I like to talk. You know, it's been the worst suck-ass week I've had. And that's just the word I use. And I apologize if that offends anybody. It's been the worst suck-ass week I've had in I don't know how long. It's been very bad. So hello, Kathy. It's okay like this. Just leave it alone. I'm leaving it alone. We're not going to touch anything, but I'll try to work on it and get it better next time. Let me start out by telling you that this week started out with Miss Lily being very ill. Very, very sick. I thought she had parvo. The vet thought she had parvo, which is lethal in canines. She was having explosive diarrhea and throwing up all over the place. It was really messy and ugly there for a couple of days. I got her into the vet, and we had her looked at, and we ran stool tests, and we ran blood tests. Everything came back okay. So we gave her a series of antibiotics, some medication for the diarrhea, medication for the throwing up, and what else? She had some probiotics to help her digestive gut get better. Anyhow, she just had a whole bunch of stuff treating her. And now she seems to be back together. She's eating again and drinking again and having and being okay. I don't know if maybe she got into some bad dog food with all of the poison scares going on nowadays with dog food the last few days. It kind of had me panicked and worrying about that. I know I've been a big fan of the Milk-Bone dog biscuits for her. She really likes those. But that company has actually been found where they were having poisons found in some of the canned dog food, although the company that sells that canned dog food is the same company that makes the Milk-Bone dog biscuit. So anyhow, I've taken her off all of that stuff. I went out and bought a fresh bag of Purina high pro dog chow, which is one of the feeds I like to feed, and is not on any of these watch lists for being a bad food. And she is now doing much, much better. So we're not sure if she just ate something that irritated her stomach somehow or what happened. So I don't know, like Doug's asking, intestinal virus. I don't know if that was the case, but I do know that she's fine now. She's okay. She's in the dog crate right now because actually she's just been a little too gregarious. Now that she's feeling better, she's actually a bit more wound up than usual. And as you guys know, she's usually fairly well wound up to begin with. So I thought it might be good to put her in her crate and let her just take a nap while I'm trying to do the live stream so I can get it done without being attacked. We'll see how well that works. But anyhow, hey, Aunt and Sid, how you guys doing? Yeah, I don't know if it was Chinese dog food or not, Palm. Actually, Smucker's is the company that makes, through their subsidiaries, was making dog. It was mostly the problem was with Gravy Train. I guess they found the stuff they used to euthanasia dogs was found in Gravy Train canned dog food. So anyhow, she is. She's not putting up much of a protest. She's just laying there in her crate being quiet. So let's let sleeping dogs lie. So that was part one of my suck ass week. Part two of my suck ass week started out, I mean, talk about a really roller coaster. For those of you that have known me for a while, you know that I've been very excited about trying to sell my farm up in Alaska, and that if I can sell my farm, I can finally move on with my life and get things done that I wanted to do. Well, sold the farm. Have a lady buying the farm. So I was like, oh man, this is awesome, great. I'm going to have some money. I can get going, get back to work, you know, and start moving along. So I was really excited about that idea. 2 days ago, I get a message from the title company that's handling the transaction, informing me that my ex-wife's attorney filed a suit against the sale of the property because she still owed some money through the divorce thing. But I thought, you know, we had agreed I had time to do that. Well, apparently they sued because of the farm being sold. They wanted to get their share of the money. And so I'm not going to get anything, actually. The property's going to sell. She's getting the money from the proceeds of the sale. I'm not getting a damn penny out of the thing. And so, you know, I guess that's just the way life goes on. I don't know what other reaction I can possibly have. Was I angry? Oh, yeah. She doesn't deserve a penny. After what she's done to me and before and after the divorce, she didn't deserve a penny. Which funny that's actually her name, Penny. But you know, she's getting the money and I'm not, and there's nothing really I can do about it, except just stiff upper lip, move on. I got a clear conscience. I can put her behind me and everything up in Alaska behind me and now move forward. So that's what I'm doing. I was really kind of planning and counting on that to get forward, doing some stuff. Been toying with the idea lately. You know, you guys know that I was originally thinking about selling my truck to buy a boat. Maybe I should have gone ahead and did that. Maybe I shouldn't. I think it's been good for me to be here in Ohio. I'm reconnecting with my kids, getting to know my grandkids a little bit. And man, do I have some awesome grandkids. My grandkids are just spectacular. My granddaughter is awesome. My grandsons are awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with them. So that's cool. And I would not have had that opportunity to spend more time with them had I just bought a boat and gone sailing. So what I am doing is I'm selling my truck and I'm going to be going ahead and buying a much less expensive vehicle, junker type thing, and then using the funds from the sale to fund me getting my real estate license going so I can get back to work, because I have got to get back to work and start earning some money. So let's see, Google it, raw food or two have been much better since they changed their diet. Yeah, I'm not a big fan on raw food for dogs, but maybe that might be something to look into. Intestinal virus is what landed me back in the hospital for 8 days. Oh wow, that sucks, Doug. Like your channel, guys. See you all soon. Okay, B and J. This, by the way, B and J, this is not normally what I have on my channel. Normally, we'll put this drama behind us and get going doing some stuff, much more positive stuff. Don't sell, rent it out on long-term lease. Yeah, I don't have that option. Got to get it sold and get it done. I gave a house to someone I didn't really like to. Yeah, yeah. You know, there's some women that are well worthwhile paying so you don't have to live with them. And that's, I'll just leave it at that. So, got to keep on keeping on. That's right. That's right. Time to regroup, move on, and plan C. Yeah, Doug, at this point, I think I'm about plan W, going down the alphabet, but it's all good. You know, I mean, that's the reality of it, is it all good. No matter what anybody does, they really can't take away to me what are the assets that I have in my life, and that I'm a presentable individual with a good education and good capabilities, and I'm going to be able to go forward and earn. They can't take my earning abilities away from me. Only I can do that. I'm the only one that can really screw me up. And believe me, going through this divorce process, I've allowed them to really screw me up. I'm not allowing them to do that anymore. I've drawn the line. Enough's enough. Time for me to go forward and do what I do well. I sell real estate well. I'm a good realtor. My clients love me. I do a good job for them. I get top dollar. I'm good at negotiating. I've had tremendous success with that. I mean, I've had the same people and the same families have me do transaction after transaction after transaction within the same family. I don't know what I could do as a better indicator from that. And, you know, if you get on a page like Zillow and you look up me as a realtor, Carl Brook, look me up as a realtor, you'll find that, you know, I've got reviews there, and everyone just sort of gives me glaring reviews on YouTube. That, well, not glaring, that's not the glowing. I'm sorry, glowing. Glaring, no, glowing reviews on Zillow, and so that looks like it's pretty good. So, man, let me check on the things here. Got to keep on keeping. Yep, time to regroup. Yep, good to say. Hey, Don B, how you doing? Get it behind you and move on. That's what I'm doing, Doug. Alexander, working nomadic. Hi, Grandpa. Is the farm selling? Okay, you guys that came in late, you probably didn't hear the beginning of this. Yes, that farm has sold, but my ex-wife lawyer filed a suit against it, so I'm not getting a penny. It's all going to her. The fact is, though, and this is what the deal was. When we went to court and had the divorce, at the time we had the property appraised. It appraised at $215,000. I mean, just give you guys some of the details. And at $215,000, I was happy to give her $15,000 of that because we only owed like $140 on it. So I was going to be well on the plus side. The problem is we ended up only selling it for $169,500, not $215,000. The real estate market there went into crapper, and that's the best price I could get out of it. So I was down to where I was only going to get $8,000, and now, you know, she said, well, wait a minute, you owe me $15,000, so she's getting the $8,000 anyway, and I'm getting nothing. But oh well, water under the bridge. We're moving on. So Don B, and for those guys that don't know, that's what's going on. I'm not getting any of the money from that, but screw it. I'm moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm selling my excursion here in Ohio. I have it on Craigslist, $13,800, which is about the market. I actually was going to advertise it over a month ago, and then I found out the property was in contract, so I took it off the market. Now I'm going to have to put it back on the market. I did have a guy who wanted to buy it then a month ago. Unfortunately, he already bought another one for his son, and he's mad now because he would have rather had mine because it was in better shape. But oh well, I'll find another buyer, and I'm going to sell that, and then that's going to fund me going forward. So I think, I'm not sure I'll be successful with this because of all the nonsense I just went through, but I think having sold the property will clean up my other economic issues that I had up in Alaska. I've talked about those in other videos. I don't want to get in all that detail now, but suffice it to say that I did do a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I did what's known as a 100% plan, and the only creditor that was in that was, in fact, the mortgager on the property. So he is getting 100%. He did get 100%. Actually, he's already gotten his 100% of the arrearage that the Chapter 13 represented. Now it's just paying the lawyer the rest, but that's all getting paid out of this. And that's the thing. See, I've always been one of those people I pay. It seems like I'm the guy that always gets stuck with the bill for stuff. We moved to Alaska, and my wife's parents wanted to move up there, so I had to rent the mobile home, or not the mobile home, the Ryder truck, U-Haul truck. I had to rent the truck and pay for them to move up there. I had to build a cabin for them to live into. I have to give her the money from the sale of the property. I'm always the guy that seems like I'm paying everything, but you know what? I've got the ability to earn money, and that's golden, because I've always been the golden goose. I'm the guy that can make the chinks. So that's what I'm doing. I'm selling the truck, getting my license in Florida going. I will have my Florida license at the end of this month. Well, no, my test is at the end of the month. It should be at the end of the month, or 1st of March. I'll have my Florida license back, and I'll be able to get back to work. And I will be able to make good money selling real estate down the Florida Keys. Worked down there before, made good money last time. I'll make good money this time too. So that's the plan, although I'll be working from Ohio and selling real estate down there. Anyhow, what does that mean to my viewers? What that means to my viewers is that you guys will see me owning a sailboat by the end of hurricane season. Now, I know hurricane season hasn't started yet. I get that. But I've got to list some properties and get them sold and make some money. So I'm giving myself that timeline at the end of hurricane season. So I'm saying by November 1st. By November 1st, I will own a sailboat in Florida and be able to start making some content from there. I plan on still maintaining a residence here in Ohio because I really enjoy being around my family and my grandkids, but I'm going to go back and forth between the two, spend a lot of time out on the highway. Which brings me to another thing. I thought about buying like a junker truck out of the proceeds of selling my truck, spending like $5,000 and buying a used truck. I might just take that $5,000 and put it as a down payment on a new truck. Might just have to do that. My last 2 excursions that I've owned, I paid cash for, and I much prefer paying cash. But I'm not going to have a mortgage obligation anymore. So, in fact, I have no debt. My phone bill is the only debt I have right now, my phone bill. So, and some folks that I owe money to from sailing with Grandpa. Although I've emailed all of those folks at this point, and only one of those people have come back to me saying they wanted their money refunded. Obviously, I was going to pay for that refund out of the sale of the farm. That's going to get delayed now. I'm going to have to pay that out of the sale of my truck. But that guy will get his paid. The other guys, I'm still waiting to hear. So I did tell them I will own a truck by the end of this summer as we go at the end of hurricane season. So maybe this winter they'll go sailing with me, and that would be absolutely awesome if we could do that. So Alexander says, so what do you do? I am a real estate broker. That's what I do. I'm a real estate broker. Hey, Kelly Banks, how you doing, man? Always wishing you the best of everything, my old friend. Well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate it, buddy. Here's a suggestion for a decent car. Cheap Jag X-Type. Good, reliable, comfortable car, all-wheel drive, some creature comforts. And because people are afraid of them, they sell cheap. Don, I was actually looking on Craigslist, and there were a couple of the Jags for sale here. And I'm not opposed to Jags, but here in America, they have a real bad reputation for being unreliable. And expensive to fix, and very expensive to fix. So that would have been an option. But I think what I'm going to do, just before I got divorced, my ex-wife lied to me and got me to spend $5,000 as a down payment so she could have this black-on-black 2015 Mustang convertible. This is the car that she wanted. $50,000 5.0 Mustang GT convertible. And but the reality of it was I paid $5,000 down and we had a Mustang. Now, subsequent to that, since our divorce, she was not able to make the payments, and the divorce settlement was the car, and the payments with the car were her problem. So she had the car repoed and lost that car. It'd be poetic justice for me, I think, to go out and buy one and drive it. But the fact is, it's too small of a car. I don't fit it in very comfortably. And as a realtor, I need something I can carry signs in and equipment, materials, and stuff. So, and as a fisherman and a sailor and a boater, I need something a little bit larger. So we'll take care of that. Don B says, please make them whole. Don, absolutely. My intention is to make them whole. Everybody. like I said before, I'm the guy that pays bills. So my intention is to make everybody involved whole. And I've contacted all those people and have given them instructions that I will be doing that. So, and whether they come sailing with me again or not, I'm still making everybody whole. So that is the plan. Expensive to repair, electrical problems galore. Yeah. Don B, by the way, Doug Imbragamo on here is not only an auto mechanic extraordinaire, but actually taught at the school where they teach auto mechanics. So and I always call them drugless because when we grew up as kids, Doug never had any weed. I always smoked mine or somebody else's. Give you an idea about my misspent youth, but he knows a lot about cars. So I kind of trust his judgment. So karma, gotta love it. Yeah, Waukesha Pilot, there's a lot to be said about that. Sail north, I'll meet you off the coast of Nova Scotia. Hey, Trav, that sounds like it might be a plan. Look into the X-Type, check the owner's forums. They're cheap because of people's preconceived opinions. They're very reliable and not really expensive to fix. All right, Don B, I will look into that. I definitely will look into that. Yep. I've always had a bit of an affinity for the Jags and some of the other British cars. So, hey, Jared. Hey, Carl, glad to see you're back online. Hope everything goes good. All loose ends are cut free so you can move forward. Glad to have you back. Yes, all loose ends. Well, they'll be cut free, somewhere around the 9th of March or so is when the property is supposed to close. And then that'll put an end to all of that nonsense. So we'll be able to move forward. So I hope to come sail, Grandpa. Hey, Alex, let's make that a plan, man. We'll try to do that. Johanna says, yeah, Doug was our best man. Yes, he was. Johanna Wilson in the house, guys. Johanna is my first ex-wife and a very dear friend to this very day. In fact, I am sitting right now in Johanna's garage, pseudo-turned apartment, and that's where I'm living for the time being. So Johanna has been absolutely awesome to me and helping me out. So Jaguars Electrics are no longer by Lucas, the Prince of Darkness. Ooh. Interesting statement. Okay. So maybe a newer Jag would be better than the old ones. That may be true. I'm an old geezer. And so, I remember stuff that happened back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. So, got to keep the pipes lubricated. So, hey, Grandpa, what's happening? Hey, Thad, how you doing, man? Rhonda says Johanna's cool. Very good. X-Type is basically a Ford built on a European chassis. Sales switch over. That's all right, Don. At this point with international globalism, it's hard to say who makes what anymore. I know there's a lot of, go USA sentiment. And to be honest, to be fair, I've always been a support American workers kind of guy, In fact, I remember years ago when Johanna and I were first married and I had a real estate office in New York, I wanted to drive a car that was, an American car. And so I went out and I bought a Ford LTD Crown Victoria. Actually, I bought her a Ford LTD Crown Victoria and I bought myself a new Mercury, the Mercury version of the Ford. So I bought two of these, Ford vehicles thinking, man, I'm a great American supporting American workers. Well, I got home and I opened the door and seen the little sticker inside the door, made in Canada. So all my good efforts of trying to buy an American-made car, here it is made in Canada. So, of course, nowadays, all the parts come from all over the place, wherever. I think at some point you need to start thinking to yourself, man, maybe I'm just an earthling and not necessarily have to worry about buying America. Try to buy and support companies that support my ideology as opposed to my nationality, maybe. And of course, my ideology goes more towards the idea of good global conservation and that sort of thing, necessarily than just being pro-American. So, not that I'm anti-American, I'm certainly not. But you can't buy a car today that isn't in an international consumption of some kind. You buy a Ford and it's got parts from all over the world. You buy a Chevy, it's got parts from all over the world. You buy a Dodge. I mean, you cannot buy an American car anymore and have it be 100% made in America. Even the Hondas that are made in America have parts shipped over from Honda and are owned by foreign countries. So I think the idea and the mentality of anyhow, I'll move on to another subject because that just pisses me off. But I hope that's beer. No, that's not beer. That is seltzer water. It is, in this case, it is carbonated water and lime juice. That's all. No preservatives, no sugars added, nothing like that. It's carbonated water with lime juice, and it tastes really good just by itself. Although I bet you it would taste a whole lot better with some rum added to it, but it's really good just by itself, and it's helping my diet and my health. So that's where we're going with that. I love my Cadillac CTS. Cool. I'm on my 5th Jag from a mid-'80s XJ6 through one of the Bond cars, XK8 convertible, and now my 2nd X-Type. Oh, cool. Get a Land Rover. They're made in the same plant in Coventry, UK. Probably spelled that wrong. Huh. Just wondering, did you comment on Doodles yesterday, or was someone impersonating you? No, Palm Limit. That was the original Carl Brook. And just so you guys know, if you notice the name of my channel now, I've dropped the Grandpa's Farm from the channel. In trying to have full disclosure, I've dropped the Grandpa's Farm now, and it's just simply Carl Brook, and I think I have something like sailor, fisherman, YouTuber, realtor in the title, so people have a better understanding of who I am and what I'm trying to do. I think too many people in social media hide behind a curtain of so you never know who they really are. In fact, I've had a problem with the people that signed up on my Sell with Grandpa thing, because their name on YouTube is different than their email, is different than the messages that come through when they text me a message or something. And so I had a lot of confusion as to who was who. Someone says, "Oh, did you get my deposit?" I'm like, "No, I didn't get a deposit from you," but that was because the email address that was used to send the deposit and the name that was used was different than the ID on YouTube. So I think it's time for people to stop doing that, and I'm going to try to continue with my pledge of being the change that I'd like to see, and so I just put my name up there. In fact, I'm starting a new website for my real estate business, and it's just simply carlbrook.com, period. carlbrook.com. It's just me selling real estate. I'm not hiding behind any name or LLC or any of that nonsense. I've been selling real estate since the early 80s. Never had a litigation, never had so much as a complaint filed against me professionally. And so I have no problem with just putting my name out there. Everybody else should do the same thing with it. So it's a global economy these days. Protectionism at the border is pretty much impossible unless you want to be isolated like North Korea. Yeah, Don B., I happen to agree with that. Our country was founded on the premise of give us you're tired and you're hungry. And maybe that's what made us as strong a country as we were, was the fact that we celebrated our amalgamation of so many different nations in this country. Maybe we should get back to that. But try Zevia Pop from Kroger. It's in the health food section. Huh. I'll have to look at that, Alexander. I didn't see that, but I'll take a look. With our new tax policies, perhaps we'll start making the parts here again. It's clear how crappy Takata airbags are. Yes, that's very true, Philly Dog. How you doing, man? Yep, Land Rovers are good, but expensive. Bobby did ask if that was really you. Yeah, he did. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny that he acknowledged the fact that there are other people impersonating Grandpa's Farm. And by the way, them impersonating Grandpa's Farm is not why I dropped that. I just wanted to have out there as fair disclosure. So I put that out. And, I'm really trying to make sure that I don't provide any food, energy, traction to any of those trolls out there. So I'm just not going to give them anything that they can hang their hat on. Ooh, you're such a bad guy because of whatever nonsense that they might imagine. You know, it's just like I had some idiot this week. I put a post on Facebook about a lot of pollution that was found in the Caribbean, literally a floating gyre of garbage in the Caribbean, and you know that it was a bad thing. And this guy gets on there and says, "When are you going to be give disclosure and tell the truth about yourself? You're bankrupt and you're still borrowing money from people, or people giving you money and this kind of nonsense." And I'm like, you know, he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. Guys, I did a bankruptcy. It was a Chapter 13. Not a Chapter 7. Chapter 7 means I just walk away and don't pay anybody anything. Chapter 13 means I reorganized everything. It's 100% plan, paid everybody 100% what's owed them. If you don't believe me, get on Alaska's website and check it. Public record. So I'm tired of trolls and their bullshit. So pardon my language, but I'm just fed up with them. I'm trying to make sure I live my life going forward, or not live my life per se, but share information in such a way that they don't have any place to get a foothold. So right on. There you go. My Indian name was Runs for Beer. Hey, Carolyn Harmon, how you doing? Hiding, yeah. Afternoon. Hey, good game, Bees and Homestead. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome. So today's going to be an interesting day. I'm actually just killing a little bit of time here. I have to run to the grocery store here in a little bit, pick up a couple watermelons. We're going to we're making a fruit salad to go along with dinner. You know, Sunday dinner here at Johanna's house. I'm kind of the chief cook and bottle washer usually, but in this case, Johanna's making a fruit salad, and I need to go get some watermelon to add to that. She's got some cantaloupe and blueberries and pineapple and some other stuff she's making in that. That's going to be dessert, and then I'm making London broils. I'm doing a couple of London broils on the grill, and I'm going to make some succotash. Succotash. I like saying that word, succotash. It's a fun word to say, so I like saying succotash. It sounds funny that way. I don't know. But, you know, a little corn, little red onion, some green pepper. What else do I put in there? Oh, what's the other item? Tomatoes. Cut up some little cherry tomatoes to go on top. That'll be good. So we're going to have succotash. We're going to have asparagus. We're going to have London broil and fruit salad for dessert. And we're kind of celebrating because it's Johanna's anniversary. Her and her husband are about 20 years. Just the other day, I think they're married 20 years. So pretty cool. Yes, and she's making homemade bread. I'm pretty sure we all adults here call it the way you see it, like you always do. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Doing good, man. Taking a break from work outside. Was going to make a video, but stumbled on your stream instead. I need to get busy. Still need 19 subs before Tuesday. Why before Tuesday? What? Good game, Bees and Homestead. Why before Tuesday? Hey, and while I'm thinking about that, feel free to give yourself a plug. Anybody on my chat, and this has just been my policy from the get-go. Anybody, if you're on my chat, put a shout out for yourself. Give your channel a shout out. Say who you are and that you're a YouTuber, so people can jump on and watch you. A lot of the people that are on here are not necessarily YouTubers. They're just people that, you know, watch, viewers. So if you've got a YouTube channel, take this opportunity to put onto the chat now. Say, you know, put your name and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel and it's about X, and put that out there. So it'll help anybody that wants to join in and subscribe. Daytona 500, are you going to watch? Probably not. Probably not. Is that today? Shows you how much I'm up to date with stuff. Sounds good. What time is dinner? We're all invited, right? Hey, Don, if you can show up here for dinner, it's going to be at 6, and you'd be more than welcome. Sounds delicious. Have a good one. Thanks, Trav. Trolls are good. They give views. Yes, they do give views, Ian. They do that. Yep. That is a new threshold cutoff. They are demonetizing everyone under 1,000 subs on Tuesday. Oh, is that what it is on Tuesday? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know, when I started, you had to have, I think, 100. And so now it's 1,000. I almost don't blame YouTube for that, because there are so many, there's just so many channels out there, and the accounting must be a nightmare for them. You know, kind of keep track of everyone's banking information and who gets paid what and where. Their accounting algorithm must be a nightmare. So I rather imagine they probably eliminate, I'll bet you 40 to 50, maybe even a higher percentage of people that are trying to do YouTube channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers. And so they're dealing with such small amounts of money. It's probably just not worthwhile for them to have to deal with the accounting for it. So I'm sorry if you're in that ball game, but, you know, I can almost kind of understand their need to do that. So, in a half-hour green flag. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I will not be watching it. I have to go buy watermelon, and I have to go jump in the shower and get ready to cook dinner for the kids. So, good game. Post a link, and I'll subscribe to help you over the top. There you go. Yeah, Don. All you have to do is where Good Game has made a post there. If you put your cursor, you're on the right-hand side of the chat of their name, or actually highlight on their name. But if you go to the right-hand side, there's 3 dots that will appear. If you click on those 3 dots, you can go to that guy's channel, go to the channel and subscribe. So if you're going to do that, though, come back. That's all I have. So that's all I had to have, but I've had to pick up about 400 in a month. Almost made it. Well, let's hope you get over the limit then, man. Let's hope you make it there. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna do just what I told Don. I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna go to your channel. I'm going to your channel right now. You're at 983. I just subbed. That makes me, whoop, your music's playing. That makes me 984. So there you go. Let's see. Please, everyone hit like. Hey, thank you. Yes, please do like and subscribe. It won't let me post a link. Click those 3 buttons. Yeah, please click on the 3 buttons. There you go, Rhonda. Rhonda posted a link for you. Rhonda is the moderator with the mostest, the hostess with the mostest. So thank you, Rhonda, for posting that link for him. Learn something new every day. I'm a little more edumacated. Oh, I love that word. It's one of my favorites. Trolls constantly reporting Bobby's videos say you're demonetized almost instantly. Then they have to be reviewed. That's simply, actually, Philly Dog, I don't believe that the demonetization, the reporting, I don't think that has anything to do with trolls. I don't believe trolls are in a position where they can do that. Because if that was the case, every single video that I put up would be demonetized, because I've got a ton of trolls that, you know, are mad at me for banning them from my site or whatever, you know, people, well, whatever. So I don't think trolls are the ones who do. I know Bob thinks that. I don't think that's the case. From the research that I've done, it's just something in the algorithm that triggers it. And some of it can be really, you know, I mean, I did a video during the holidays. I said, hey, folks, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. That was literally the extent of the video, and it got flagged. So, and all you do when it gets flagged is you go down and you say, hey, well, you know, I want it to be reviewed, and they review it, and they pop it back up. Now, they did say for a while they were, you know, you had to have over 1,000 views before they would do that, and so you lose the revenue on that first 1,000 views. But I'm finding that they don't do that anymore. They're not limiting it to 1,000 views. They're just simply remonetizing them for me. And I imagine their program is learning after a while that, you know, I'm not putting out bad content, and so it's not flagging me as much, because I'm not getting flagged nearly as much as I used to, and I used to get flagged a lot. So, and so if it was up to the trolls, I'd be flagged every day. Everything I put up would get flagged, and that's not the case right now. So, hey, Kathy Beals, how you doing? Johanna Wilson, 986. We're gonna get them there. No dislike here yet. Well, hey, you've not made it on YouTube until you've got haters. That is an unfortunate truth today. You're just not, you know, it's just like that poor girl in the Olympics. I was reading in the news today that, you know, she really tried as hard as she could and she failed. And people slammed her. Trolls just slammed her in social media, saying that she wasn't a good American because she didn't win, you know. And it's just like, what dogs, you know, what dogs. So YouTube goes back and reviews them, then they're reinstated. Yes, YouTube goes back and reviews them, and then they get reinstated. They do. And it's my understanding any revenue that it would have generated while going through that review process still gets accounted for and paid. So I don't think Bob's argument that he's losing 50 bucks a video or whatever is necessarily accurate. So my video for how to bake jalapeno cheddar bread got flagged, but it got fixed pretty quickly. Yeah, see? So jalapeno cheddar bread, that should be good. Hey, Joe Peak, how you doing, man? How did you get so adept at this stuff, Carl? Stuck in a little remote cabin up in Alaska with nothing better to do than read shit on the internet. Pretty much, Philly Jog. You know, in wintertime up in Alaska, there really isn't anything else to do. So I tried to educate myself. Thank you for the word, Don. About YouTube and how it works. You know, did a lot of research, a lot of studies. So, yeah, poor Rhonda. Now, talk about needing people to join in. Poor Rhonda's at 32 subscribers, guys. I mean, that's pitiful. Poor Rhonda's only at 32 subscribers. So, if you want to know more about Rhonda and what's going on in her life, go ahead and sub Cheshire Canary. And Rhonda, if she was smart, she would put a link to her channel in there so people could do just that easily. I wouldn't report anyone, but Bobby has a history of being deceptive, and he's the king of clickbait. I don't watch him anymore, but occasionally see his thumbnails. Yeah, I agree. As far as being deceptive, you know, I think there's a lot of claims of people being deceptive. You know, here's the thing. I kind of like Bob. I do. I, as much as anybody, have plenty of reason to be unhappy with the guy, but I kind of like Bob. I wish him all the best of luck in the world. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do well. But he is his own worst enemy, as we all are to one degree or another. I'm glad to see he finally has what seems like a decent lady in his life. Jury's out how that's going to play out yet. It's still a beginning thing, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes, you know. I am a little dismayed, though, that, you know, in the interest of full disclosure, in his video, he says at the beginning, oh, you know, I was an airplane pilot and I had a heart attack. And so I bought a boat. Now I'm sailing. Well, the boat he's on, he doesn't own. And the way the video intro that he has does, it makes it sound like he owns that boat. He doesn't own that boat. He's just a delivery skipper moving that boat from the Pacific Northwest to Thailand. He's doing a 6-month delivery. He's not the owner of that boat. So I'm a little, so I kind of get your deceptive thing. That I thought was a little deceptive when I saw that on his live stream. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. So, hey, the Four Heart Ranch, how you doing? Glad to see you here. That bread is awesome. You got to try it. I will do. We'll do that. Yep, pitiful. Yes, yep. Cheshire +1. There you go. I just subbed to Rhonda. Cheers. Hey, Slipstream, how you doing? Good to hear you that. Rhonda, getting subs. Love it. She said she loved him yesterday. Yeah, I heard that. Yep, yep. I have 0 subs, but no content either. Well, you're not going to get subs without content. And Rhonda has been putting out some content. Unfortunately, Rhonda's content hasn't been real happy because she's going through some real medical issues right now. I imagine as she gets this medical issues put behind her, things will start becoming much more positive. You know, at the very beginning, she was putting up some really interesting content. She's a singer. She does big band singing, you know, swing kind of stuff. And she's got a great voice. So some of the content she was putting up, but since then it's been kind of like my channel, you know, it's been kind of drama and negative and all this bullshit that you have to deal with in life to get through. So maybe both of us will get very quickly to the point where we're starting to put out some positive content once again. I know I'm right on the edge of making that step and getting there. So let's hope she gets there too very quickly. Just sub Selling Slipstream. Yeah, Selling Slipstream's a good channel. He's putting up some good content. He lied about several things in fear of losing subscribers and patrons. You know, Don B, lying about some things is the surest way of losing subscribers and patrons, you know? Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't know what to tell you there. I'm not going to try to beat up Bob. You know, I've caught enough flack as a result of you know, being at odds with Bob, and it is what it is. So I'm just moving on. I just wish the guy the best of luck, and I hope he does well. As I do anybody out there. Hey, you know, you guys may not believe this, but being a YouTuber is a tough game. It's a lot of work for very little money for a very long period of time. You know, I kind of liken it to anything else. You know, it's like getting a college degree. You know, you go through 4 years of indentured servitude of just busting your butt trying to get an education. And in a lot of ways, YouTube is the same way. You've got to put in that first year or 2 or 3 and really bust your butt until you've learned how things work and are making the content that you need to make and get things up and running. So I know at this point I have done everything possible to screw up my YouTube channel. Back and forth between I'm going to go sailing, I'm going to homestead. I'm going to go sailing, I'm going to homestead. I'm living up in Alaska cabin, and now I'm going to go buy a sailboat. No, I'm not going to buy a sailboat. I'm going to live in a garage with my ex-wife. You know, which is kind of what I'm doing now. Not with her, but in her garage. And yeah, got to put all this behind me and start a very solid calendar and path and direction to move forward so I can get going. You know, the reality of it is the things I like in life are sailing, scuba diving, fishing. I can't do those here in Ohio. And the thing I do for making money is selling real estate. And, you know, with the houses here in this area being in the 60, 70, 80, 100, 120, some in the 250 range, but very few, if anything, over 500,000. Whereas down the Florida Keys, you know, the houses start at 300,000 and go on up to 5, 6, 15, $30 million. So I can just make a whole lot more money there than I can here. And I can do the things I like to do there that I can't do here. So it sucks. Now all I need to do is move my family down there so I could be around my grandkids, and it'd be awesome. It would be awesome. So, which is interesting because my oldest son and he had a conversation with me the other day. And I kind of gave him an idea as to how much money I expect to make down there. He says, well, if you make that, I'm going to become a realtor. I'm going to hold his ass to that. Because that'd be great. Because then he could come down there and work with me, and then I'd have the boys down there. That'd be awesome. So it was brought up about Bob. In all fairness, it would be nice if he would get credit to certain people that helped him achieve where he is today. Hey, Kelly. Yes, I agree, Kelly. And, you know, it was interesting, and I'm just going to digress here for a moment. It was interesting that on the, you know, when you watch a video down below, there's all that information about the video, you know. You can scroll down and see all the info about the links and what have you. And I thought it was really interesting, Kelly, that he still had a link in there for Megan's Instagram, but not for Laura's Instagram, the girl he's with now. So, yeah, I think Megan got taken advantage of it. But you know that. You know I've conveyed that to you. So, Rhonda agrees. So, hey, Jared, how you doing, man? I met Bobby and Laura out there when I was in Monterey. I tend to agree a little bit with you on your introduction, but as far as people, they're a lot of fun to be with. And they certainly are, Jared. They certainly are. Bob and Laura look like a really fun couple. Bob's a fun guy to be around. He likes to party a lot. So, yep, I agree with that completely. Got that right, Kelly. You can be a YouTuber without lying and exploiting women. Sure, sailing videos and bikinis go hand in hand, but you don't need to plaster every video with a thumbnail of boobs. You know, Don, I'll bring up an example right in the sailing genre. If you look at Gone with the Winds, they're the #3 channel in the sailing genre on YouTube, behind Delos and Sailing La Vagabond. And yet Gone with the Winds never really shows any TNA at all. And then I'll also mention RAN Sailing, R-A-N Sailing, another couple sailing. They've been doing it a little longer than Bob. They've actually have about the same number of subscribers, maybe a few fewer subscribers than Bob, but they have more support on Patreon than Bob does. And again, no TNA. This is just a couple out sailing, living on a sailboat. So, you know, Bob may be hurting himself with his focus the way he has it. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I agree with you. You don't need to plaster every video with a thumbnail of boobs. Hey, I got boobs. I could do that. I don't think anybody wants to see my hairy fat boobs, but hey, Frederick, how are you doing, sir? How's things over the pond? Woot woot, 10 subs to go. There you go, guys. Hey, if you're just getting onto the channel, Good Game Bees and Homestead needs 10 more subscribers to make the 1,000 subscriber cut, so his videos will be monetized. So if you can, jump in there and subscribe to him. Good Game Bees and Homestead. He's got the comment there at 2:47 p.m. says, woot woot, 10 subs to go. Jump in there and help him out if you would. Ian says, hey, Ian, I think someone got him for $1,500. That's not fun. I think someone got him for $1,500. That's not fun. What are you talking about, Ian? I don't know what that's referring to. I think someone got him. Huh. Moobs. There you go, Rhonda. Yep, man boobs. Where's all the content that Megan was going to be posting? Something personal happened between the two of them. No one knows what that is, not even you, Mom. Yeah, Philly Dog. You know, I think in retrospect, in Rhonda's, or not in Rhonda's, in Megan's credit, she's decided not to air whatever dirty laundry transpired, and that's fine. You know, I have a lot of respect for Megan to do that. Although Kelly knows that I'm very frustrated with Megan because she had a golden opportunity to blow out her own channel, and I think she could have and should have taken advantage of that, and she'd be bigger than Bob if she had you know, gone that route. But for whatever reason, she decided not to, and that's fine. And now she's got a new man in her life, and she's preoccupied and happy, and that's great for Megan. So, oh man, I love Megan. I still miss her. Yeah, awesome girl, awesome girl. So, love you, Grandpa. How you keep it real, Kelly. You know, I like to tell it like it is, and you know, I'm old enough and crotchety enough that I just put it out there the way I do. So, Bob lost $1,500 with a visitor, I think. You mean one of the people that sailed with him stole money from him? Is that what you're saying, Ian? Bobby lost $1,500 with a visitor, I think. Huh. Yep, Don, I agree. Yep, good on Megan. Some guy stayed with them for 2 weeks and disputed the charges on his credit card. Oh, I see. Well, you know, if the visit with, I don't know. I could see where spending those 2 weeks with Bob, probably $2,200 for 2 weeks to be on the boat. Wow, that's a lot of money, $1,000 a week. I could, you know, so maybe it wasn't what was promised, and so the guy reneged. I don't know. You know, I know that I have been I have operated vacation cabins before. I had a resort here in Ohio where I had cabins and we rented them out. And I had people come and stay in my cabins for a week and then renege on the charges when they came out. There are some people that just do that kind of thing. These particular people, not only did they mess my cabin, they threw up in the bedside drawer next to the bed. They opened it up and threw up in the drawer and closed the drawer and left it that way. Threw up all over inside the bed. Their dog had scratched at the door and tore up the vinyl flooring right in front of the door. They did a lot of damage to the cabin, and they backed up their car and bumped into a yard hydrant, and that broke the water line loose. So then they were complaining to me they had no water in the cabin. Meanwhile, they're the one that caused it. I had to get out there with a backhoe and dig a big hole and get out there. I mean, this was wintertime. I was down there in a hole full of frozen water, patching this thing up. I was not a happy camper, but got it done. Police are coming after me. Now, there's a firehouse down the road, so they go by a lot. So, you know, there are people that do that stuff, you know, and there's really nothing you can do to protect yourself from them. So, they had him in the videos. How can he dispute that he wasn't there? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Thief, that's all. Food, drinks, equipment rentals, you name it. Huh. Yeah, I guess. Megan will always take the high road, Don. It's how we brought her up. That's right, Kelly. Megan will always take the high road, as she should. SV Della's charges the same crew fee per week as what Bob charges per day. Bob is running a charter business, and with what he is charging, he can cover a few losses. Yeah, I happen to agree with that. You know, let's be real, guys. Okay, if you're on a sailboat, you're not, and it's hot, you're not eating a ton of food. Now, granted, if you're down in the Caribbean, food can be expensive down there. Alcohol can be expensive down there. The amount of drinking that Bob does can be expensive down there, anywhere for that matter. So, you know, I can kind of understand that. But when I was doing the sail with Grandpa, I was inviting people to come out and spend a week out on the boat with me for $500. And I really expected to spend $500 in food and alcohol for them for that week. I wasn't doing that with the idea that I was going to make any money from it. I figured, you know, with the added fuel expenses of going around and doing whatever those people want, or having to run to the airport and pick them up and come back, the logistics of doing that kind of stuff can be expensive. Fuel for the boat and the dinghy and what have you. So, you know, I was offering for people to come down and go sail with me at $500 for a week. That was less than what my cost was going to be for someone to do that. But it was providing me with the cash at the time I needed it, and I was going to be able to you know, recoup that later on. So I don't know what Bob's charging. I don't really care. But, you know, $2,200 for 2 weeks on with him, it seems $1,000 a week seems pretty high. So let's see, Philly Dogs in a harbor. How much sailing are you doing? Are there hotel rooms that cost $100 a day just for a room? You're not going to find a hotel room in the Caribbean for $100 a day. Even the nastiest, cockroach-infested, crappy motels in the Florida Keys are $150 a day. And I've stayed in them before. I wouldn't want to stay in one again. So they can be, if you're down on the islands, it's going to be a whole lot more than that. So, but you know, sailboats aren't a motel room. You know, there's a lot more expenses involved with that. So, and if someone's doing a passage with you, you know, if someone's jumping on and traveling with you from point A to point B and participating in part of the adventure, well, there should be some value in that, I would think, for whoever's doing it. But there's also value for Bob in that, and that he has crew on board to take watch shifts and stuff. So, you know, there's a little shared benefit there, you know. I don't know. I think $1,000 a week is exorbitant, but it's not that bad. But now, okay. By the same token, if you go and look at Paul and Cheryl Shard, who have a YouTube channel called Distant Shores. Now, Paul and Cheryl have been sailing. They were like the original people doing videos about sailing. Back in the days when they were doing VHF videotapes and recording them and sending them out. Paul and Cheryl have a TV show that airs in England and other places, not here in the United States. And they have a new monohull boat that the little last video they did, they were literally at the boat show with it being showed off. You look at their prices. You can jump on with Paul and Cheryl and be on their boat from point A to point B, and you check their prices, and it's going to be an eye-opener for you, because I can go down to the British Virgin Islands and I can do a bareboat charter where I got the whole boat to myself for $1,000 a day. And Paul and Cheryl in some areas are charging more than that to be on board with them. Of course, that's also, you know, food and drinks and everything else, but food and drinks aren't that much. Food and drinks, mooring, fuels on a 50-foot boat, not bad. Yeah, exact, Mark. How you doing, Mark? Yeah, $125 a day, food, drinks, mooring. Yes, when you think about it that way, that's really not that bad, because all of that adds up pretty quick. His website notes the cost at it's $125 a day. Okay. Well, check out Paul and Cheryl Shard at Distant Shores, DISTANTSHORES. And if you go to their website, not necessarily their YouTube channel, but if you go to their website, they have I don't remember how they word it, but they have opportunities to go sail with them on some of their legs that they do with their boat. And so you'll see their prices, and their prices are pricey. I mean, they're expensive. So, hey, Gramps, we got to go. Family just arrived. We'll upload some more vids when we get the time. Just had to offer on the house on impetus in a month. We'll keep you updated. Night all. And hey, Aunt said, good deal, guys. You guys take care. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for dropping in. Don B, 125 a day is fine for a charter, but way too much for crew expenses. Of course, Bob is not a charter captain. This is all very true. I do think Bob's using that income, though, to fund his delivery. He's not getting paid to do delivery. He's getting use of the boat to do the delivery. So to offset Bob's expenses is he's renting out the cabins to make money to do that. Because, you know, he's not making enough money from the YouTube income that he's getting and his Patreon income that he's getting. So, I don't know. Maybe he's being a bit greedy. I don't know. Not for me to decide. It's for those people that decide that want to jump on board and go sailing with him. So it's all good. Good game. Glad you made it. Did you make it? Did you get to 1,000? Good game. Shoot some archery. That'd be fun. Don B and you ain't crew. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Don B says, I think Delos charges 125 a week, and they seem to do a lot of partying and are never out of beer. Yep, that's very true, Don B. Very true. You get people on there that are more of a liability. Yep. Yeah, but Don B, I think when you sign on with Delos, you're usually signed on. You're not just doing a week. You're, 3 months, 6 months or so. You sign on for a long period of time. And maybe that's why they charge the amounts that they do, because they expect people to be on there for a long period of time. So, but there are some people that are on board with them that they don't charge, like, Yossi, or however you pronounce her name. I don't think she paid anything to be on board. I think she was just the one boy's girlfriend, and so was on the boat with him. But she went to work, as I remember, and helped with the expenses. So maybe they're getting that a bit more organized now. I don't know. You get people on there that are more of a liability. Yes, Philly Dog, you do. I read that already. Mark Gotham says, hey, Kelly, then a help. Okay. Use of the boat is payment in kind and would be taxable income. Yeah, should be. Should be. I don't know how you'd put a dollar figure on that. I think the IRS would have trouble figuring that out, but I doubt he's paying any taxes on that. Do you think Bob's new lady pays? No, Don, I don't think she's paying anything. I wonder who's paying who there, maybe. I shouldn't have said that. That's bad. That's bad. I don't know. It's just sometimes Bob seems so hard up for viewers and subscribers. I wouldn't put it past him if he were to hire a girl to be on board with him. I don't know. But, he had that opportunity and he blew it before. So, enough beating up old Bob. Delos is a venture. Bob is a weak party. Yeah, that's true, Mark. That's very true. People calling themselves crew that don't know anything, falling asleep on watch, stuff like that. Bob's new vid today. He was pulling a tampon out of the toilet pump. Yeah, I watched that, Philly Dog. I thought that was pretty funny. And you know what I was thinking to myself? You're going to have all that TNA on the boat. You're going to have to be pulling tampons out of the toilets. It's part of the deal. You're not going to have one without the other. So, and if I'm sure he has said or done something that's pissed off some girl somewhere along the way that's been on the boat, and I wouldn't put it past them for them to go ahead and do something like that just out of spite. And I'm sure that girl that did that's probably watching that video and laughing her tail off about Bob in there fixing it. So, especially with him being such a I don't know, vagina, the way he was whining and crying about it, It's just shit, people. It's just human shit. Deal with it. Wash it off afterwards. It's just shit. Anybody who's been around farm animals and farming as much as I have, you just get over it. You don't get so squeamish. Oh, I got my hand dirty. I got it on my glove. Oh, my God. Get it up your nose, and it's, oh my God. Race is starting. Got to go. Nice stream. Hey, guy, take care, pilot. Be good, man. I wouldn't do it for free, would you? Nope. 60,000 viewers this morning. I think you mean 60,000 subs. Or was it 60,000 views? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Kelly Binkley, Bad Grandpa. Absolutely. Hey, man, I watched that movie the other day, that Bad Grandpa movie with De Niro. Oh, my God, could I relate to that movie? It hit me just right. I mean, right smack between the eyes. I am so much that guy without obviously the, special forces military training background. But as far as his attitude was toward dealing with other people, I thought, man, that's just funnier as hell. Bad Grandpa. I am very definitely Bad Grandpa. So, hey, just got a farm ad before I came in. Hey, Danny Panetta, how you doing? Unless someone abuses your privy, then an moment. Yes, that's true. Rhonda's referring to, I think she's referring to the fact that the guy who was the auctioneer for my stuff up in Alaska, he went in my outhouse with a bad case of the shits and just shit all over everything in there, and then just left and didn't bother saying anything. Didn't tell me, didn't clean it up, didn't do nothing. He just left. So in the middle of the night, I went out there, had to poop real bad. I go out there and turn the light on, everything smeared and covered with poop. I was pissed. Well, I had to drag a hose out there and hose it off in the middle of wintertime. It was nasty. Yeah, subs, sorry. Okay, 60,000 subs. Nice. Good for him. Don B, a skipper will screen their crew. A charter accepts anyone with the money to stay on the boat. Again, it's the cost of doing business. You're right, Don. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joe Peak, not being a hater, but how can you sell property in the Keys from Ohio? Those people already know and trust a broker that is local. I was an agent for years and just don't see this working out. Joe, actually, that's actually the thing. And let me explain that to you real quick. And I'm sorry to bore everybody else with this for a second, but the Florida Keys has a 60% NRO percentage, non-resident owners. 60% of the properties in the Florida Keys are not owned by people in the Florida Keys. So you're thinking that they already have a broker that they know and trust is not accurate. They usually do not have somebody. It's not like a community like in Ohio, for example, here in Lancaster, Ohio, there's only a 5% NRO population. Only 5% of the properties here in Ohio are owned by people that don't necessarily live on that property. Now, they probably live very close nearby, and this is mostly the farm properties where, the farmhouse is here, but that field has an address, and that field has an address, and that constitutes the 5% NROs. In the Florida Keys, you've got people that own $2 million homes sitting on the beach there, but they live in Philadelphia and are only spending a week or 2 weeks a year in their $1 million mansion in the Florida Keys. So that 60% of the population in the Florida Keys are not well ingrained in the community, and so are available. And when I went down to the Florida Keys in 2015, I was down in the Keys for about 3 months, full-time in the Keys, and then I was up here in Ohio. But my wife and I were getting divorced when we first separated. And yet I still made $80,000 that year on sales in the Florida Keys, and I made most of that earnings while I was here in Ohio, because I'm still able to do the marketing and stuff. And if I have to go meet and greet somebody, I'll just drive down there and meet and greet them and then come back up. So yeah, it's a lot of what you do as a real estate is being done now through the internet. And Joe, if you've been a broker, a realtor, then you might know. There's two sides of the transaction. There's buying agents and selling agents. I'm a selling agent. I'm a listing agent. That's all I focus on is getting listings. I don't take people, put them in my car, drive them around and be a tour guide. I don't do that. I don't waste my gas showing property to people. I let the other realtors do that. The local realtors can do that. I focus 100% of my energy and my marketing on getting the listings and putting the inventory on the MLS. The other realtors could then sell it and show it. So that's how I can be successful. I've done it before that way. I will do it again that way. So, anyhow, Deppers, LOL. Next month, I'll be changing the Blackwater holding tank and hoses on my boat. Not looking forward to it. No, Don, that's probably about one of the worst jobs you can do on a boat, changing out that tank. Bung holes, plugs, good thing. Cut the hoses and then, crimp and clamp out the hoses, put a plug in them or something, try to keep things contained. Those hoses get caked up with all kinds of nasty stuff inside of them. Get it done, clean it up, replace it, put it back down, take a hot shower afterwards, about all you can do. So these are tourists, not crew. Get over it. Better yet, don't sign up. How about that? There you go, Philly dog. I agree. Bob is a non-issue to me, but when the topic comes up, I'll express my opinion as you do you. All right, well, there you go, guys. Don't understand how people get their kick stomping on a dream. You of all people, Grandpa, should understand. I attacked plenty of trolls on your behalf over the last year or so. Philly dog, I'm not attacking Bob. Let me clarify and be very clear. I'm very supportive of Bob, and I want to see Bob do well. If I criticize Bob at all, as I have on here, it's purely with the interest that maybe he'll learn from that and get better. It's not to run him down or create any problems. Hey, I'm a grandpa. I look at things from that perspective. My son and my grandsons do not like my comments from time to time. But if I make a comment, it's for their good. It's not for mine. I mean, it's not going to help me any. Making comments about Bob and some of the things that Bob's maybe not doing as well as he could doesn't affect me one iota. Not making me any better or any worse. It has no bearing on me. But I'm hoping that message maybe get to Bob, and Bob may think about it and say, maybe he's right. Maybe I should change this, or maybe I should change that. You have to understand where those comments come from. They come from the heart, and they come with the idea that I'm trying to help Bob. Not talking about you specifically, Carl. Oh, I understand that, Philly dog. But I get a lot of negative feedback. A lot of people have given me a hard time, given Bob a hard time in the past. And I can honestly, legitimately say, if I'm complaining about Bob, it's for Bob's own good. It's not because I'm trying to run him down or make him any less. I really hope Bob is successful. But Bob, just like myself, we're our own worst enemies. So I'm hoping Bob will get over it and get going something successful and be moving on. So anyhow, so that's the news from up here. To do a quick recap, Lily was sick. She's now better, thank God. Man, I'll tell you what, there was one night I went to bed. I didn't think I had a dog in the morning. It scared the hell out of me. I thought I was going to lose her. The farm in Alaska has sold, but I'm not getting any of the money from it. It's all going to the ex-wife. But I am going to sell my truck. It will sell in the next couple of weeks. And that money is going to be used to finish my licensing down in Florida and get me back to work and earning. And, of course, I can earn very well. So that's a direction we're heading. That's the plan, Stan. We're moving forward with that. And, we'll just have to see how things shake out going forward. But the good news is old Grandpa's getting back on track and making plans to head back down there and get on a boat. So, and, man, I've been doing a lot of boat shopping. I'm not in a position to buy a boat right now. In fact, I do not want to buy a boat right now. I want to buy a boat like September, October, November. I want to buy a boat towards the end of hurricane season. That's when I'm going to be seriously looking with money in hand. But in the meantime, I've been looking at all kinds of stuff. There was a really nice 30-footer that sold on eBay the other day for $1,325. 30-foot sailboat. I couldn't believe it. 30-foot sailboat went for $1,325. Someone put a boat up there. It was one of those boat angels, where they donated to boat angels and they put it up there and it sold. Now, I don't know how bad or good a shape it is, but from the pictures, it looked like it was in pretty good shape. And they did say that the engine was running, so it was sort of interesting. So, No Plastic 61 says this whole feed has been about Bob. Worry about yourself. Well, I appreciate that, No Plastic 61. I happen to agree. I didn't bring it up, but it is what it is. Or maybe I did bring it up. I don't know. I did enjoy Bob's live stream the other day, though, yesterday. So, and that's what brought it up. Someone asked if that was actually me that commented on there. Yes, that was actually me that commented on there. It is not one of the people that think that they are grandpa's farm. So farm is sold and the money is not going to you. Okay, I don't get it, but that's you, Buzz. Yeah, Danny, it's Biz, yeah. The ex-wife was supposed to get some money through the divorce. At the time, we thought we were selling the property at $215,000, which we had a buyer in place at the time that was buying it at $215,000. So then she was supposed to get 15 of that, but now it's only sold for $169,000. So she still wants her 15. So I'm not getting anything. That's basically how it works out. So it sucks. Moving on. Not going to worry about it anymore. So, and on that note, let's go ahead and wrap up the live stream. That's sort of the nutshell about what's going on up here. Everything else here seems to be going along just fine. As you guys probably know by now, I did go ahead and change the name of the website. You can see it's different now. The YouTube channel's got a different name. We've dropped the Grandpa's Farm. It's just going to be my name in response to just, full disclosure and not trying to hide behind any other pseudonyms and wanting to be the change I'd like to see. I'm just putting everything in my own name right now. In fact, my new website I'm building for my real estate practice down in Florida is going to be carlbrook.com, period. So Bob put out a 14-minute video, and Laura and her friend danced in their bikinis for 31 seconds. Here came the Puritans carping about pornography, clickbait, and he's a pervert. Yeah. Danny got you. Okay. Have a great one. Hey, Kathy. I'm rooting for you. Well, thanks, Philly Dog. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. Anyhow, so enough with that. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I got to go get some watermelon and go jump in the shower before the kids get here this evening. I got some cooking to do. Cook them London broils and the succotash for them. So I got to work on that. We will catch all you guys later. Please do like and subscribe. And if you would, please do take really good care of each other. I would appreciate it. So, guys, with that said, we're going to end this here. You guys take care, be careful, love one another, and hopefully we will all meet here in the near future. Yep, there. Let's meet there in the near future. Isn't that a nice spot? Good night, guys. Bye.